Let's talk to Jim Muller, though, because on the front pages this morning, 2 days after the tragic murder of Charlie Kirk over in Utah, they've got a picture of who they believe is the killer, a man who had some ammo which carried a pro-trans message, we're told, and a man who not only was able to fire one shot accurately enough to kill Charlie Kirk, hit him in the neck, he was able to get off the roof that he fired it from about 260 feet away, and disappear. And he's still, at the moment, at large. Jim Muller is the Professor Emeritus of Political Science at the University of Alaska. Jim, very good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good to speak to you. Thank you for joining us. I'm surprised, in a way, I don't know if you are, that the gunman is still at large, because they now have an image of him, they now have a picture of him. I'm hopeful that they'll apprehend him shortly.
They seem to be fairly confident that they'll be able to catch him before too much longer. They're proceeding very methodically, apparently.
Yeah, I'm sure. And obviously it's a shocking event, a shocking story. But for those people, perhaps like yourself, who work in higher education and work on campuses, I'm told it's something that's been kind of a long time coming, if you like.
Well, I think it's really too bad that our politics has gotten to the point where people are not able to listen to each other and instead are resorting to violence. It's usually a sign of having a weaker or no argument. And Charlie Kirk has been extremely successful for a number of years at appealing, especially to young men who have often felt forgotten and ignored or even reviled by people who consider themselves politically correct.
Right. And that is a problem, I think, internationally. That's the case in this country as well, in a way, that young men feel somehow disenfranchised from the society in which they live, particularly young white men who feel as though, they're kind of at the bottom of every list of social mobility.
Right. I think that was one of the main reasons why there were so many people who thought that the end to DEI, that is diversity, equity, and inclusion substitution for equal treatment under the law was a big mistake and ought to be corrected. That policy and practice has always been unpopular among people of all races in America, and also carried on only sub rosa, because those who are responsible for putting it into practice can never admit what they're actually doing, because everyone would think it was unfair, because it is. Yeah. And this was certainly one of the reasons that President Trump was elected last November.
No question. And a lot of people have said to me since the event itself, Jim, that it might be a bit of a seminal moment, it might be a watershed moment, it might be time for people to sit up and go, okay, enough now, let's sort this problem out. Do you think that's where we are, or do you think it might get worse?
Well, I think that's true, but unfortunately, there have been enough examples of people on the left imagining that political violence is always to be condemned when it's carried out by their enemies, but winking at it or even saying things that tended to encourage people who are a bit off their nut to think about it seriously, or joking about it in a way that really isn't at all healthy. Yeah. And that has been increasingly a problem.
Yeah. No question at all. Listen, Jim, I really appreciate your time. Thank you very much indeed. We've got to run. Jim Muller, Professor Emeritus of Political Science at the University of Alaska.